Welcome back to another episode of SandersAquatics. So tonight's going to be a little bit different here. I have been intentionally not buying new fish to go through and breed. We are going to an auction here come this Saturday. We're actually pretty excited for it. I'm really excited. I've never been to a fish auction before, so we're going to have a lot of fun here with it. But I've been trying to leave some tank space open. Come home tonight, my Rams have decided to breed, my Angels have decided to breed, so I pulled eggs and I've filled up 2 more tanks that I've intentionally tried to leave open. But I had a question here from somebody who's been watching, and they're going through and they're bringing up angels, and they're trying to breed angels and get Fry to bring up, and asked how to get over that hump. That hump when they first hatch out, trying to get them to the point to where they're eating some real food and you're not holding their little fins, getting them along. That's the hardest part of this. Trying to get to that point is really, really tough. And little bitty babies, they're so fragile, they're so hard, and you're gonna lose some. It's just part of it. We'll give you some of our tips and tricks on how we do what we do. I'm not the best at it, don't get me wrong. There's lots of folks, and my setup is not my dream setup. We'll get there eventually. So I kind of go through what we're doing and how we're doing. So we start all the way. We got all the way from the beginning right here. We got our angel eggs down here. We got our Fry eggs here. These guys are about a day old. That's all they are. Right there at the beginning. Got your next stage over here. We got our gouramis over here. We actually did a mutant breeding project where we bred blues and whites together. Have no idea what we're going to get out of this. We got a next stage over here. These guys are about 3 or 4 weeks old. These are some Danios that we bred out. Same with the angels that are right next to it. They're about 3 or 4 weeks old. Your next level, we got some black skirts that we've bred out in here. These guys are about a month and a half old. It's a cakewalk at this point, maybe even at this point over here. You got all the way up to your tiger barbs. We bred some tiger barbs. We got these guys swimming around in here having a good old time. Come on down here. We've got some of our Pracox rainbows that we bred out here. These guys are doing really, really well. They're actually almost at a breeding stage. We're going to go through. This is going to be my next breeding group. Going to have a good time out of these guys. And we got, of course, we've got these guys are actually at a pretty good size over here. We got some of our gouramis and stuff that we've gone through and grown up. These guys are getting to that point. How do we get them there? That's what we're going to tell you. It's how we're going to do what we do. So we come back down. So we got these guys, and every fish is a little bit different. How you get where you get, tap up. How you get where you get is, they're all a little bit different, but for the most part, it's pretty much the same. We got our pups here with us again tonight, so they're coming to say hi because we're moving around a little too much for them. But once these guys get at the point that they're free swimming, the biggest thing to do is to get them some kind of high protein food. So what we personally use here, we use egg yolk. Egg yolk, we've actually got a video, go back and watch it. It's really works. The hard part on egg yolk, and the biggest issue that we come across, is exactly what you see here. So you've got this gorgeous tank right here. These guys are off of the egg yolk. We don't even feed them egg yolk anymore. This one here, this one here, this one here. We have to do daily water changes on these tanks to go through and keep the cloudiness out of here and keep this to where it's efficient. We constantly cleaning the bottom of the tank all the time until they're about 3 or 4 weeks old and they're free swimming and they're eating some decent food. It's tough watching them and trying to do everything and keep these tank parameters perfect on small tanks is really, really tough. The best scenario, and there's some guys I've watched out there that have setups to go through and breed real small fish when they're like at these small baby points. They've got setups that have larger tanks down at the bottom. They have constant water cycling through, and it feeds through basically small containers to keep these guys, and you can focus feed these and keep constantly for clean, fresh water. Like the reason this is so successful, and we've been feeding these guys egg yolk and it's not so clouded up, because it's a larger body of water. If you was able to take this and dispense it over a whole bunch more and bring it back in here and take that large filtration and clean it out, it would be a lot more successful, and you wouldn't have as much work as what you have here. Once you get them past that point that they're off of powdered food or an egg yolk, because we use a lot of first bites here too. Pearls, I think, is the name. I haven't tried it before, but I keep hearing about it, that it's a really, really high protein, even higher protein than what egg yolk is. But this is the toughest stage to get these guys past. So keeping the water as clean as possible, constantly keeping water flowing over them, and getting a supply of food to them that is 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. We got our dogs, they probably saw a squirrel outside and they wanted to go bark and scream and yell. But a constant food supply to these guys, 2, 3, 4 times a day, is what they really need. I have the benefit, I have an amazing wife that comes down here and feeds these guys in the middle of the day for me. I feed them in the morning before I go to work. She feeds them in the middle of the day, and I feed them when I get home. We rotate schedules on keeping the tanks clean and always working on. But once you get them to the point that they're getting to be right about this size, because these guys are a little bit older, you can start feeding them some baby brine shrimp. Baby brine shrimp is really, really good for these guys. I don't have any baby brine shrimp down here at the moment. It's going to come here eventually. I don't have time to take care of it. It's not a whole lot of effort. But like when they start getting to this point, I start weaning them off of the egg yolk and start getting them into some crushed flake. I take flake and basically crush it up real small, and it gets them to start growing real fast. Once you get them off of that powdered stuff or that real fine stuff, they start taking off really quick. Once you're at that point, it's a breeze. Like taking care of any other fish, as long as you have the right parameters, right filtration, and you don't have to constantly take care of them, baby them like they're little bitty babies. But those are a few of the simple, easy steps that we use to go through and do this. Eventually, I'll have this fry system as just pretty much grow outs for fries, and I'll have somewhere where I can raise itty bitty guys up, and I'll show you that setup. But there's a lot of folks out there that have some setups that are really cool. Go through and YouTube it, and I've done some out in my garage during the summer. I just don't have the ability to do it down here yet. It's coming though. But like I said, this come from somebody that responded on one of our videos, said they're having a hard time going through and getting past that little bitty fry stage. So if you have tips and tricks you want to go through and share with them, please. What are you doing? What works well for you? How do you get them past that point? Anything that helps out there, we're here to help folks. Try to get them to the point that they can do this stuff. It's fun. We enjoy it. We're trying to share and give as much information out as we can. That's what I got. That's the little tips and tricks that I go through and I use. I'm going to give 2 more here, just so that we got a few more. I like to use some kind of live plant in my tanks, and I always use some kind of snail in the bottom of the tank. The snails go through and they clean up some of the excess, because to go through and feed these guys is going to take some excess. But I use some kind of snails. The live plants are a great filtration. But those are a couple more tricks that I go through and I use. Anything else you guys have, please share with them. Share it out there. We're a bunch of fish nerds. We're having a good time with it. So, we appreciate you guys. Thanks again for watching SandersAquatics. Like and subscribe. That's Bentley's part. I'm jumping in tonight.